Step 4. Direct Assessment Rubric Design. Student learning outcomes, program learning outcomes, and institutional learning outcomes are all demonstrations of what it is that students can do as a result of instruction. These demonstrations can only be assessed at the course level as a result of direct assessment activities such as presentations, group interactions, or other observations of students' behaviors or products that students generate. Direct assessment allows for observation of demonstration of specific skills and competencies. Indirect assessment activities, such as student satisfaction or engagement surveys, are not reflective of what it is that students can do by design. After the careful analysis of the course content and identification of skills and competencies that students are expected to acquire, assessment rubrics need to be developed just as carefully for each one of the student learning outcomes identified at the course level. Program learning outcomes and institutional learning outcomes may be measured together, as they can also be assessed at the course level. For example, students presenting an ability to analyze chemical compounds may do it in the form of an oral PowerPoint presentation done online. Chemistry instructor then can attest to the student learning at the course level. Department can evaluate student learning at the program level as the student is demonstrating on an aspect of chemistry important to the program. And an institutional level student learning outcome can be documented as the students present their abilities to speak publicly, which may be an institutional learning outcome. Assessment rubrics are tools that allow for very careful recording of results of these demonstrations. How should assessment rubric be designed? This depends on what is assessed. There are many different types of rubrics and many ways to design them. Rubrics may be discipline-specific, and they may contain a list of student learning outcomes, program learning outcomes, and institutional learning outcomes, accompanied by their corresponding statements of proficiency. Here's an example. On the top of the rubric, there is a specific overarching student learning outcome statement, skill, or competency that students are expected to showcase in the given assessment task. On the left-hand side, in one column, there is the list of objectives, or smaller steps, that students need to present to attest to the skills and competencies acquired in the course, or as a result of an instructional activity. On the top of the list, there is a Likert type scale that will help faculty assess the level of mastery. Score for each skill demonstrated is to be recorded on the right-hand side of the rubric and added to the final score. A comprehensive assessment rubric of this kind allows for assessment of skills and competencies at all levels at once. Upon program completion, and upon graduation from the institution, students should be ready to demonstrate these skills to their employers and at higher levels of their academic careers.